very young. My grandmother was kind of into the Eastern sciences, and so she had a lot of books that I found at an early age. And she used to work with me a lot on meditating, and so I kind of was meditating and doing things like that when I was younger. And then when I got into high school, I found and fell in love with the autobiography of a yogi. And so I started reading that, and so I started practicing more of the posture side of yoga. And I was a gymnast when I was younger, so it was just kind of this natural fit to kind of move into the posture practice. And then I didn't have a yoga studio. I grew up in a small town, so there wasn't a yoga studio. So it would just be me practicing in my bedroom. And then when I got into college, I started practicing a little bit more regularly, going to studios and practicing in a more formal manner. Then I got into climbing, and I was at a climbing center, and I met Sherry Youngblood, and she asked me if I'd ever thought about doing teacher training. And it just so happened that I had spent like 2 years trying to find the perfect teacher training program for me. And at the time I was a therapist, so I couldn't just go away for 2 weeks or a month to go do a training that way. So something that was local and that met my spiritual needs as well, and just a good training was very important. So then I got trained, and once I was certified, I started leading classes at the mental institution that I was working at. I just saw how much it benefited people of all walks of life and all mental states. We all can use yoga, and then it just kind of I just found that that's more where I wanted to help people. I always knew I wanted to help people, but yoga fit more of the way that I wanted to help people. It was more true to my own belief system. And so we started Arkansas Yoga Collective, and so I stopped working at the mental institution, and now we just do yoga full time. And here we are. Owning a studio is incredibly fulfilling, incredibly inspiring and challenging and fun, and one of the best decisions I've ever made. You definitely have those moments where you're like, am I okay? Is this gonna be okay? And you wear a lot of different hats when you own a business, especially like a small business, where you have to be, play the accountant, play the person that's scheduling, doing schedule changes, managing staff, doing marketing, which is could be a whole job in itself. And then also still staying true and being able to find time to do what you love, to teach classes, to take classes, to still do your practice. So, but it's a dream come true for me, and I couldn't imagine doing anything else now. Yoga to me is a whole way of being. It's a lifestyle. It's how you live your life. It's how you approach every aspect of your life. That's once you start, I think, saying that you're a yoga practitioner, or definitely if you're a yoga teacher, then everything you do you should try to have everything you do come from the framework and approach of yoga, which is being conscious and mindful of your actions and your breath and staying in the moment. Not that we don't mess up and we don't get caught up in other everyday things and the dramas of life, but to me yoga is it's a way of life. It teaches you how to approach every aspect that you could ever imagine. So it's not just posture practice, it's not just sitting down and meditating, but it's what you're doing after that. Those things just allow you to practice skills that you then can take with you when you're off of the mat. So to me, yoga is life. It's a way of being. One of the biggest challenges for me in my life has been overcoming the sudden and accidental death of my sister a year and a half ago. She was young, 25, and it was a canoeing accident that no one could have predicted. That was incredibly hard for me. So yoga to me is a lifestyle and it's a way of being, but since that accident, it has definitely been something a crutch that I turn to a lot to help me cope when those emotions are coming up, and to help me remind myself to stay in the moment, and that our bodies, they're not ours. You don't get to take them with you, and so learning how to grow myself personally and connect to my breath and connect to something greater than myself through yoga helps me feel closer to my sister. It helps me feel more connected to her. And there's been definitely, you can only talk to people so much, and that helps. Like, I'm very lucky to have incredible friends and family. I'm very lucky that she had incredibly wonderful friends that, she touched a lot of people. And I'm super incredibly lucky, I say that over and over, that she was such an amazing person, and that her light was so bright that, that all helps, and I can turn to that and I can cling on to that. But then there are days where it's hard to keep that in mind, and there's days where you just need something more. In your body, I read this book. We have a book club at Arkansas Yoga Collective, and we recently read The Body Keeps Score, and I truly believe that your body holds on to these emotional pains, especially when you, something that's as hard to cope with as a loss, as someone that you were so close to, that your body, you kind of just want to bring out your body sometimes and just let it go. And sometimes it's hard to do just being in your mind and sitting with it. You'll just end up sitting with your emotions, and it's hard to turn that off. But when I get in those really dark places, I can turn to yoga, and then after a while, my attention is turned away from my mind, and it's more focused on my breath and my body and what my body's doing. And so then in that way, I can kind of soften those feelings, get through that moment in a healthy way, and then I'll have usually a different outlook, a better outlook about life and about how to handle my sister not being here physically with me. So Kind Folk started, I guess the very early stages of what would turn into Kind Folk was when I was a teenager, and like most teenagers, my body was freaking out and going through puberty, and my skin's breaking out. And I had a wonderful mother who was doing everything that she could to try to help me, because my life was ending. My skin's breaking out. I'll never have a boyfriend. Yada yada yada. The world's ending. My skin's breaking out. Being in the mind of a 13, 14-year-old. And so she got me, at the time, things like Proactive were very popular, and these kind of fake, really harsh, chemically Latin, approaches to skincare, but that's what all my friends were on. That's, was a hot thing. And it ended up freaking my skin out even more. So then I'm sitting there, I'm devastated, and nothing's gonna help, nothing, And then I was at a drugstore, and I saw Burt's Bees, and I saw it was a blemish stick. And so it's like, I've tried everything else. Why not try this? And that cleared, it helped more than anything. My skin started clearing up, it calmed down. And so then I started realizing that the problem is that I was sensitive to chemicals. I have sensitive skin, and even perfumes and body sprays that aren't natural are really irritating. So that kind of sparked my interest into natural products and what makes them work. And after a while, I started realizing that I could make those products, and kind of customize it even more to fit my needs. And so I started making my products for myself. And once you kind of start understanding the base of how things work, it's easy to just keep going. And so then I was just making basically every product I use on my body, and even detergent and toothpaste I was making. And my friends started asking me about it, and I started making things for them. And then it was like, oh, hey, Christmas is coming up. Can you make a gift basket for my mother? And so then it kind of grew from there. And then after we opened the studio, that was like a platform for me to really to have my products on display and have a way to get them out to reach more people. So I already had them online through Etsy. So then I started a website and started selling them at the studio, and then it kind of grew from there. And now they're in a few different shops all around town and even surrounding cities. And I'm working with a lady in Colorado right now to get them on her website, and so it's really taken off. But the beauty of it is, like, I love making the products. To me, like, I put a lot of love into them. I put a lot of research into what works and what doesn't work, because a lot of experimenting happens. And so they're still made in really small batches, and I don't want to lose that. Like, I'm basically the only one who works on them from beginning to end. And I think that helps them work even better, because there's so much love and time and thought that goes into each one. And the reason that natural is so important is because we take on so many chemicals, especially if you're a female or a man that's conscious about his looks and his body. Like, we are taking in so many chemicals. I recently read an article, I think on average like 515 chemicals is absorbed through all these body care products that we're using. Because on average, I think women use about 12 products a day. Each product, if you think about it, like your soap, your deodorant, your body scrub, your shampoo, your conditioner, your hairspray, your volumizing spray, your anti-heat protecting, then your perfume and your concealer and your lip gloss, and add it up and then start looking at all the chemicals that are in those products. And those chemicals have been linked to just not only like irritation and rashes on your skin, but also to hormone imbalance and fertility issues and kidney, like it affects your kidneys and so just all kinds of things. Deodorant is even linked to like cancer-causing agents, and with just the rise of all of cancer and all these other diseases that are happening, I just think it's really important to start looking at like what we're putting on our body. And if it's something that you're using every day, I think it's even more important that you are concerned with what's going in it. So when you buy small batch and you buy organic, small batch and locally made products, you're getting really fresh ingredients, which makes them even more effective than some of these products that have preservatives and everything like that in them, because they've been in a factory, then they're going to sit on a shelf for a long time. But small batch, there's maybe 3 or 4 ingredients in each one, so you know exactly what's going on in your body. And to me, I find that they're more effective than non-natural products for the most part, and it feels better. There's no side effect, unless you're allergic to a product, to one of the ingredients in the products. And in that case, instead of having a list of 50 ingredients to go through, you have 3 or 4, to kind of figure out. So I'm very passionate about making natural products available. With Kind Book, I don't want it to be just beauty products. Like, I don't want it to be just things that smell good, but I also want them to serve another function. So I'm always putting in extra ingredients to help nurture the body a little bit more, because I kind of like doing double duty. Like, I don't want to just put on lotion that is going to make me smell good. I want it to smell good and also feed my skin and also nurture my cells and the aromatherapy side of it. So I want it to be certain essential oils that are going to be good for like uplifting the mood or for brightening the skin, if that's what the action is, or relaxing. And so it's really great to get products that are doing all of this. I mean, right now there's it's the flu's going around and it's really bad. When you use natural products that contain essential oils, a lot of them are antibacterial or antiviral and all of this. So you can spray, like take a spray and spray it around the air, spray it on your face, spray it on your hands, spray it, and it's not gonna hurt you. It's not gonna hurt your skin. It's not gonna, and it's also, cleansing the air around you, cleansing you So that's the beauty of it. And while it's doing that, like while it's cleansing, while it's protecting you, it's also brightening your skin, brightening your mood, doing all these extra things, protecting your skin against blemishes, and helping it, produce more collagen, helping the cells work better and more effectively. And so that's the real beauty of when you start using essential oils and plant-based products, is that you're getting all the components that plant holds, and that's just such a beautiful gift that we have, and it's just sad that we're not promoting that more, Then it comes to things like packaging, like when you're buying local, like the glass packaging, that a lot of my products have, that helps with the environment. It helps, you can recycle them, you can reuse them. It's not gonna take it 500 years to break down. It's also very simple packaging, so it's like minimal impact on the earth. It's just trying to tread as lightly and as consciously as you can, is another very important component to kind folk. Our motto is kind looks beautiful on you, and so we're really trying through this. I'm really trying to make it so that people are approaching beauty and through self-care, and so it's just the whole self. It's not just things that make you look better, but it's like, what are these things that are going to keep your body functioning the best that it can? And within that, it's cutting out chemicals that are pointless. Like, you don't have to use chemicals to have an effective product. You have to use chemicals to make a shelf life longer so you can store it in a huge factory, but that's not necessary. It's making it so that people are being kind to their bodies, telling themselves kind things, projecting kindness, and being kind to the environment is all what I would hope that people take from the Kind Folk brand. So I always try to stay open to new possibilities and new things that could happen, but we did just get approved to have our own yoga school, the Yoga Collective Academy, and so our 200-hour training is starting at the end of this February. So hopefully it'll help us be able to spread the art and science of yoga to others and give that as a gift to them, so that then they can go give it as a gift to their friends and family and whoever they might touch. And then also, we're trying to get it out in the community more. We're always looking for ways to bring yoga to more people. It can help everyone. So if you can touch as many people as we can touch with the gift of yoga, we want to. I have an upcoming retreat called the Legends of Greater Things, and it's with some very strong, wonderful women. Carla Shepherd, who's my mother, she's going to be involved, and then Bonnie McCliss, who's a spiritual coach out of Nashville, and author and wonderful medium, etc. The list of how great she is goes on and on. But we're going to be doing yoga and meditating and doing intuitive development workshops, and so we're just hoping for this next year. My goals are just to help spread yoga as many ways as I can, and just give this gift that has been so valuable to me, this priceless gift to others, and so then they can begin their journey and help as many people as they can.